Okay, so hey again, friends and family. So I don't normally make videos. I don't think usually not even 2 days in a row, let alone two in one day. But I felt they deserve to be separated. Um, so we all know that we are all struggling to get by, and some people are doing some horrendous things in order to try and survive, or things that are out of character for them. And I get it, because I went grocery shopping today. Me and Cherokee went grocery shopping today. Sometimes I go without her, or but we usually go together. So
you might sometimes go without me, but genuinely, it's usually better to go with me because I keep the list.
she's the list maker, and there was a time where I could remember everything, but not so much anymore. But Cherokee's our list maker, and it usually keeps track of everything. And a lot of times, if I'm gonna go without her, I'll ask her to make me a list and text it to me.
If you're going to go shopping on your own, I'll usually make you a more simplified list so it's not as hard for you to, keep track of. I'm just saying. I don't know if you know.
She thinks I'm a twit.
I think you have multiple head injuries.
It doesn't matter if it's true. She still treats me like I'm a twit sometimes. But anywho, we went grocery shopping, and I think I already threw the receipt away.
That's okay. I remember the eggs. $10.
So yeah. So we, when we got out and about today, had to get my blood drawn first and then whatnot. And so the first place we stopped was a 99-cent grocery store. She's not kidding. We stopped at what was supposed to be a 99-cent grocery store in Boulder City, Nevada. It's in southern Nevada. And yes, milk was $5. So, after seeing some of the prices and that they didn't, my main reason to go in there was I was hoping to find a decent sized bag of dog food at a reasonable price for Mimi. But they didn't have but like this wee bag that was like $5. And I guess if you're in a pinch, that'll work. But I got that wee bag wouldn't last my Mimi a week on its own. She's not a big dog, but she's definitely not a small dog. She's not a lap dog. She's technically a medium-sized dog. And so, she would like to be a lap dog, but she's not. She's too big for that. But anywho, we were in the grocery store, and that, like I said, the first store we went into was the 99-cent store, and even it's supposed to be a 99-cent grocery store, and
it's supposed to be cheap.
It means, and you would think it being a 99-cent grocery store, a gallon of milk would be a reasonable price. I didn't even check the price of eggs in there.
I didn't find it.
Cherokee was checking out stuff while I was looking for dog food. So, and I didn't see eggs in there either. So they may not have had any. But anyways, after seeing the price of milk, I suggested, because we were initially gonna grab a couple of items. Basically, we were gonna try and pet shop there for some cheap stuff, because I know in the Albertsons that's in Boulder City that their pet products are expensive, because we shop there semi regularly. Yes, we might stop in there about once every other month. So semi-regularly. We like their selection and whatnot, and we technically really like the store there.
Yes.
It's a good store. It's great customer service, but they're pricey, and so we can't shop there regularly. So I was just like, let's okay, we know we're not getting anything here, and let's just skip Albertsons because we know it's an expensive store, and just go to the Winco. It's technically
And they blend into each other.
well, it's technically part of Henderson. You said part. You
can't
get
tell them apart.
either whatever. She thinks it's technically part of Vegas. It's technically considered part of Henderson, but the line in that area is blurred. It's really hard. There's no between one or the other to say you have left.
You don't really notice when you cross from one.
Yeah, you don't. You can't. You don't notice when you've crossed from one area to another, and there's so it's more of a stretched out area of Vegas that has been labeled Henderson, and it's not really that separate. But it's technically considered part of Henderson. And it wasn't too far from Boulder City, so we decided to go there and do our grocery shopping at the Winco Foods. Because they almost always have better prices than everybody. And definitely, more normal prices than, definitely could see some price increase on some things that are normally a lot cheaper. But yeah, the shocker was the eggs. And since we had very few left in the house, we only had a half a dozen left in the house.
I think we only have like 4 eggs, actually.
Was it 4? I don't know. The last time I opened it, there were 6.
I had an omelet recently. Did you?
So I don't know how many you used. So okay. So I guess there was only 4 left. Anyways, I knew we needed eggs. But definitely price wise, needed kind of some other minor things, like we needed some tomato soup.
Eggs, bread,
yeah. Milk, eggs, breads.
And the milk there was cheaper than the 99 cent store.
Yes, the milk in the Winco Foods was cheaper than the 99-cent store, by nearly half. Yes. So yeah, we bought milk there instead of. And we even was able to get a half gallon of orange juice at a reasonable price. But yeah, the eggs, that was shocking for me.
We stood there and made a division of things on how much each egg cost.
Yeah. It was so. A dozen eggs was $7 and $7. I remember the exact price. Let me do it, lady.
Okay.
$7.77. That's why I can remember, because it was 777. So I was just like, wow. That's crazy. And I do understand, there's bird flu and there's an egg shortage, but still I was not quite prepared for that. I mean, because last month we were trapped here at home because the car wasn't working and it was at the transmission shop, so we didn't get to go shopping.
To me is that lady bought us organic eggs. And I'm pretty sure the egg problem had already started.
I don't know. I mean, we, like I said, like she said, we were getting help from church and from work, from our job. You know, church brought us a couple of care packages. My job brought groceries. Okay, and there was a dozen eggs in with those groceries, and the eggs they brought were fancy organic ones. And I'm normally I'm not usually too looking at stuff like that, because the organic stuff is always way more expensive than the standard stuff. So, but yeah, I had to bust out my calculator, y'all, because a dozen eggs was $7.77, but a box of 18 was $9.09. So nearly $10 for 18 eggs. But this is how my brain works, you know, because even though we're not big egg eaters, every once in a while, you know, we'll probably cook with them more often than we eat them. But I do, you know, occasionally like to make an egg sandwich or something, or like she said, she made herself an omelet the other day, and so we use eggs fairly regularly, you know, I would say, you know, once or twice a week, you know, at least. And people are telling you, you should cook at home to save money.
We do that.
And we do that. But at these prices, you don't feel like you're saving anything. So, but yeah, I busted out the calculator to figure out how much I was being charged per egg, whether I bought a dozen or 18. So, and it turned out the dozen eggs was like 60 cents an egg, while the 18 count of eggs, despite being $9.09, was like 50 cents an egg. That's about a 10-cent difference in egg. And so, you get more eggs for, technically that's the better deal, even if you got to cough up a little bit more it looks like you're coughing up a little bit more, but you're getting a better deal. Okay. So, yeah. You know, and there was a guy, you know, when we were checking, I was like, oh, you bought eggs, huh? It's like, yeah, gotta have some in the house. I mean, definitely, you know, we're
chicken feed in the store. We're contemplating, do we get chickens?
You know, chicken feed in the store. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting to want to have our own chickens. And I have seen a couple of chicken coops for sale. But you know, I don't think the winter time here would be
summer.
It's the summer here that would be like something that would like roast the chickens while they're in the yard, you know, because we can
come out to fried chicken.
Yeah, you know, go out to feed the chickens and find the sun. They've been fried out in the Nevada sun. So, yeah.
Accidental dinner.
Accidental dinner, yeah. You know, but yeah. So I don't know how well chickens would do here, or what you would have to do to keep them from dying in the heat.
Even without the heat, maybe with all the bird flu going around, it might not have worked out in the end anyway, so chickens might have just died. You know, and because we got crazy wild birds around here that fall in our yard dead all the time. Yeah, I mean, even before they said there was bird flu.
Yeah, we were finding dead birds.
I think they found the bird flu late.
Yeah, we think the bird flu has been going around for a while because we have for quite a while been finding dead birds in our yard on the regular, or rather Mimi finds them and thinks they're toys. So, but yeah, so you know, I get it. You know, I mean, so we need that universal basic income. That's the word I was trying to think of in the last video.
You kind of said it, actually. You said basic income.
Universal basic income of, you know, and I think 2,000 would be a good start. Yeah, and then a universal food stamp allotment.
I think the food stamps is very significant.
You know, and and what they're going on for people. I don't know how some people are making it. I know for us, we got each other to work with. So, you know, I think if either of us were on our own, would be harder. It would be a lot harder. A lot harder, you know, so having each other to lean on it helps a lot. So yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, you know, we spent over $100 in groceries a week, still came home with basically squat. I mean, you know, and we just basically we had to stick to basically to what we needed, really needed in the immediate here, because we couldn't even afford some of the others. There was a flour that we wanted to get that we had to say, well, we'll have to just go out that.
It's also like barbecue sauce,
you know, and yeah, a couple, like yeah, so, you know, some little stuff like barbecue sauce and red wine vinegar.
We almost skipped out on beef, but we found a deal that we thought good.
Yeah, we were in need of some ground beef, and we almost walked away without buying any ground beef for the household. But after going through what was available, I found one halfway decent deal. I'm not going to say it was a great deal because it wasn't. It was just a halfway decent deal. And I know in other places, other grocery stores, we would not have found anything like less than that anyway. So, so we did at least come home with 5 pounds of hamburger.
But we almost didn't come home with our cereal.
Yeah, but we almost didn't come home with the cereal, because the cashier accidentally rang it up with the lady stuff who was ahead of us. So, you know.
I was trying to tell her, and she's just like.
Well, I didn't see it happen. Cherokee kind of noticed, you know, because I was the one putting the groceries onto the conveyor belt, so I didn't see it happen. But Cherokee I was trying to send Cherokee around while I was still dealing on the conveyor belt side around to where our groceries were coming down the other belt to start packing them for us, and Cherokee noticed our cereals were missing. So
what I actually noticed was she had 3 identical cereals. I was like, what are the chances? And then I was checking our stuff. I was like,
okay, so the lady ahead of us suddenly had 3 identical cereals to what we were buying.
What are the chances?
Yeah, what were the chances of that? And when we were picky on cereals because of price, so looking for things that were like cheap.
We managed to find some pretty cheap ones.
We did find a couple of cheap boxes and a cheap bagged cereal. So, and luckily we're not trying to feed a bunch of people off the little bit of money that we got coming in. Cherokee's like, we poor. Yes, we poor.
I'm not sure how we would feed another person.
I don't know if there was, you know, we don't know, you know, how we would feed another person. Oh, you know, if we couldn't do it on just what we got going on right now. That's for sure. You know,
and they cut our money. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't, but I think they have.
And yeah, and Cherokee gets disability because she's disabled, and she gets Medicaid and she gets some food stamps, and it looks like they cut her food stamps significantly this month.
Like half.
Yeah, like in half. So, you know, if she didn't have me to make up the difference,
we would have walked away with what we had.
You know, she wouldn't have been able to get a decent amount of groceries with that. That's not enough to feed one person. Yeah.
So with how the prices are right.
Yeah, especially with the way the prices are right now. You can't.
If the prices were more normal,
you
might be able to squeeze your stencils okay. okay.
Yeah, but there's no normal anymore. You know, it hasn't been normal for a long time. I remember when I was a kid and certain things jumped up in price, and people said, "Oh, when it'll go back down." No, it's never gone back down. You know, gas prices jumping. You know. You know, so they've gone from, you know, when I was a kid being less than $1 a gallon to, depending on where you live, you could be paying $5 or $6 a gallon, and it's not going back down.
The lowest thing I remember buying as a kid, for me, because I know you probably remember lower prices for some things. The lowest thing I remember is we went into a store, like a little corner store, and I begged you to buy me a pickle. It was only 5 cents. And then I was disappointed because it was a sweet pickle.
Anywho, but yeah. So, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard for everybody, and y'all be careful out there, because, like I said, it's dangerous, and there are people who are really deep in survival mode and not thinking clearly.
I don't know if all of you've heard about it, but there was a town that had its water supply cut off. 2,000 people, just no water.
Yeah, so, but that's not what I was talking about.
It's an example.
It's an example, but yeah, a whole town in Arizona lost its water supply. Another town cut them off. A city cut them off. Luckily, we are not connected to Nevada, to Las Vegas, Nevada water. We have our own water supply here where we live. We have our own well system, so you know, nobody can cut off our water from us.
I suppose the well could run dry, but
you know, so, but yeah, but we're doing the best we can, and we hope that y'all are surviving okay. You know, friends and family, we love you and we miss you, and we hope you're finding peace in your hearts and in your lives.
On the bright side, everybody's drowning in water. It's raining a lot.
It's raining a lot here right now, just like it is in California.
Not as bad as California.
Not as bad as California, but we definitely have gotten a lot of rain recently that we usually don't get.
Puddles.
We have puddles.
I'm sorry, the ground is so dry.
Cherokee, I'm trying to end the video.
Sorry. Bye-bye.
Peace.